Our reality journey begins with Extreme Makeover Recovery Edition. Your host, Tylee Perkyton.
Thank you, Anderson, and good morning, everybody. Today, on Extreme Makeover Recovery Edition, we're going to introduce you to David. David was diagnosed with schizophrenia when he was 34. Because of his illness, he lost touch with his family. Here's his sister, Martha, to tell us about that.
David was sleeping all the time. He had blackouts. Our grandmother got him to start therapy, but when she died, he just disappeared with no idea where he was for a couple of years.
David had stopped taking his meds and ended up living on the streets. He was repeatedly picked up by police and delivered to jail, or, if he was luckier, to the hospital, where they'd get him on his meds, stabilized. But when they released him back to the community, the whole process repeated itself. Fortunately for David, during his last hospital stay, he was referred to a case manager from Vail Place who convinced him to come in and meet with the Vail Place recovery design team. We're going to take a trip back to that day 2 years ago. When David met with our recovery design team, Lola, our case manager, Thomas, who handles housing, Carl, our employment counselor, JJ, who's a peer support specialist and a Vail Place member, and me, Tylee. I focus on community support. Welcome to Vail Place, David.
I don't think this is the place for me.
If that's what you decide, David, that's okay. Nobody here is going to force you to do anything. But tell me, you have been in and out of the hospital and jail a lot in the past couple of years. Are you okay with that?
I don't ask to go there.
When you're not in the hospital, you're living on the streets. That's got to be pretty tough.
I've got friends on the street. It's okay.
But the police pick you up sometimes.
There's no reason for them to pick me up. I'm not hurting anybody.
Well, sometimes when you're passed out from all the drugs, maybe you get hassled by the folks passing by, and you react, and you think that you're going to end up in jail. That's got to be scary.
I get called names and beat up sometimes in jail.
Tell me, David, what's a good memory for you?
Well, when I was living with my grandmother, I was studying to be a certified nurse's aide.
You were happy and doing well?
Yeah, I had my own room and my own bathroom. My grandmother helped me a lot. She got me back to school.
Oh, to be a nurse's aide.
Certified nurse's aide.
Sounds like you were really into that.
I almost got my certificate, but my grandmother got sick. I took care of her before she passed away.
What if you could live like that again, in a house with a nice room, or an apartment?
And what if you go back and finish to get your certificate for a certified nurse's aide? How would you like that?
I don't know if I could do that now.
There we go.
What if we made a plan together and you set a goal and we all work together to help make that happen?
Sounds hard.
I've been through almost exactly what you have, David.
Aren't you staff?
No, I came here just like you, and it's changed my life. It really is possible.
David, we'll work with you every step of the way and give you all the support you need.
You tell me what to do?
No. No. You would be given choices, and you would decide.
It's like having a big family around you. What do you say?
I think my grandmother would want me to give it a try, so I suppose I should.
So what do you think, team? What's the best makeover recovery strategy for David?
Well, guys, you're seeing David on his meds. He's going to go off them soon, and then he won't accept any help. Getting him to stay on his meds might be the first thing we need to tackle, but it's going to be tough.
But I think I can help, Lola. I struggled with staying on my meds. My story might help him.
I'm sure it will, JJ, but we should start right away to find him housing. Whether he's on his meds or not, he needs a safe, stable place to stay.
Ain't nobody got time for that, Tom. We've got a vacancy rate of less than 2% and a waiting list of over 8 years for a Section 8 voucher.
But there are still options, Tylee, like group residential housing. And we've been aggressive and successful going after unexpected voucher opportunities. And his family seems willing to get involved, so maybe they would help, at least for a while.
Family's a good idea, Tom, but I know he's got some guilt and other things going on there. Not sure he'll be open to reconnecting quite yet.
But Lola, he's going to need personal connections. Right now, his only friends are people on the street. If he starts coming into Vail Place on a regular basis, he's going to connect with people who understand him and accept him for who he is. He is going to feel safe.
Yes, and maybe he'll get involved in the work order day and do things around the clubhouse.
Yes, and he certainly could.
Yes, I totally think so. You heard how much being a certified nurse's aide meant to him. School and work are positive triggers for him. I think we can build on those.
Yes, and I'm sure there are a lot of other positive triggers that we don't even know about.
Yes, absolutely. Let's find out as much as we can about his history and what's important to him.
Yes, and whatever other supports and resources he can tap into.
Yes, we can give him hope if we can find out what hope just looks like for him.
Is our Vail Place team ready to put him on the road to recovery?
Yes!
Go Vail Place!
When we last heard from Tylee and the rest of the recovery design team, they took us back 2 years when they had just begun an extreme makeover for David. Well, Tylee, are you ready to move that bus and reveal that recovery?
We're about to just do that, Anderson. It has been an amazing 2 years that's involved every one of us on the design team, hasn't it, guys?
Absolutely, and kudos to JJ, who really got things started by introducing David to the clubhouse and other members.
Well, he was ready, I think. His first time at the clubhouse, he responded well to how welcoming everybody was. By the third visit, he was already volunteering to take on tasks.
That sure made it easier for the rest of us. Since he wanted to be there, it was never a problem to make an appointment to work with him on housing.
Or on unemployment. He went step by step through the entire program.
Well, maybe we should just bring David in and hear from him. Let's move that bus.
Why do we say that, Tylee? We don't have a bus.
Lola, I don't know. How about we just say, here's David.
Works for me.
Hi, guys.
Hi, David.
So how extreme has your recovery makeover been, David?
It's been very hard work, but really worth it. I've got the right medications to keep me balanced and structured. I have an apartment not too far from Vail Place, so I can walk there. And I've done well with some temporary jobs, and now I work regularly at Kowalski's.
They really like you there, David.
They're nice. I like it there. And what I really like is coming into Vail Place to talk to people, staff and members. I go there at least a couple times a week, and I volunteer when I'm there. Vail Place has meant so much to me.
There are hundreds of people like David right here in the Twin Cities. With the right treatment and support, each one of them has a chance for their own extreme makeover recovery.